Thank you, sir. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
Morning.
Quite a few of you down this way. If you'd like to step up a little closer, that'd be fine. We can always make room. Maybe you can hear down there, maybe you can't. There seems to be a little problem with the mic. If it goes wrong and you can't hear me, raise your hand in the back. I'm really pleased to see such a fine gathering here this morning, and I'm especially pleased to see that there are a few World War II veterans left. We're not all gone yet, but we are leaving at 1,500 a day, and I'm proud to say that I know there were other wars and other veterans, but if I may, I'd like to tell you a little story about my boys, my class, the time that when the war started in 1943. There was 84 boys in Glenwood Springs High School at that time. Pretty small school compared to what it is today. But can you hear back there? Yes or no? I'll get a little closer to the mic. Can you hear me now? Probably what I've got to say isn't that important anyway, but I'd like you to hear it. Am I okay back there now? I wanted to talk just a little bit about my high school class in World War II. I know there are other veterans here from other wars. As a matter of fact, there are over 500 flags strung around through the cemetery. Over 500. And they represent veterans from the Civil War right up through the Gulf War. But in 1941, when Japan bombed Pearl Harbor, there were 84 boys in Garfield County High School. We were a small school, active, but a small school. By the time the war ended, 14 of these boys had given their lives on some foreign soil, and 18 others had been wounded. That's a ratio of almost 40% out of a group of 84 boys. I think that speaks pretty highly for the courage that these boys from that era were willing to do for their country. There are a lot of other veterans laying here that survived the wars, came home, lived a productive life in our little neighborhood. And if they could speak to us today, I think they might say to us something like this. I am a veteran. You may know me the first time we met. I'm just another you see on the street. But I am the reason that you walk and breathe free. I am the reason for your liberty. I am a veteran. I work in the local factory all day. I own the restaurant down the way. I sell you insurance. I start your TV. I've got the best-looking grandkids that you'll ever see. I'm your grocer, your banker, your child's school teacher. I'm your plumber, your barber, your family preacher. Just listen a moment, for I have a story to tell. I am a veteran. I joined the service while in my teens. I traded my clothes for camouflage greens. I'm the first in my family to do something like this. I followed my father like he followed his. Defying my fears and hiding my doubts, I married my sweetheart before I shipped out. I missed Christmas, then Easter, the birth of my son. But I knew what I was doing had to be done. I served on the battlefield. I served on the base. I bound up wounds, and I begged for God's grace. I gave orders to fire, I followed commands, I marched into conflict in far distant lands, in the jungle, the desert, on mountains and shores, in bunkers, in tents, on dank earthen floors. While I fought on the ground, in the air, on the sea, my family and friends were home praying for me. For the land of the free and the home of the brave, I faced my demons in foxholes and caves. Then one dreaded day, without a drummer or fife, I lost my arm, my buddy, his life. I came home and I moved on, but forever was changed. The perils of war, my memory remained. I don't really say much. I don't feel like that I can. But I left home as a child, and I came home a man. There are thousands like me, thousands more who are gone, but their legacy lives as the time marches on. White crosses in rows and names carved in queues remind us of what these brave souls had to do. I'm part of a fellowship, a strong, mighty man, each man and woman who served this great land. And when our glory waves, I stand proud and tall. I help keep her flying over you all. There are other veterans here that died before they were of voting age. Thousands of them were sent home at the request of their families. And all across America today, there are small towns, large cities, doing what we're doing here today, sharing memories with each other and remembering our veterans. There are also ceremonies going on in U.S. military cemeteries throughout America. And did you know that there are 14 permanent U.S. military cemeteries located on foreign soil?